Good afternoon, everybody. It is August 15th today. We are chowing down on Durum, our first day on Durum. We're done the red lentils, we're done the small green lentils, and we're done the wheat. We still have our large green lentils left, although they look really poor. They're in the driest part of the farm, and I hope for 5 bushel. I hope for 5 bushel. They're really poor. But, like, this is nothing to write home about. Our Durum is sub 30. It is not yielding as good as the wheat was. The wheat was probably closer to between 30-35.
Mike, my rotor is at 920.
Okay, that's fine for now. We got Tim in on the combine. He's back from Austria. He's joining us for the harvest season. And I think this is probably his 3rd time visiting us over here. Yeah, we got a lot of new faces. I don't think you guys would recognize the crew anymore. We still got a lot of the old faces, but we've just really had to amp up the size of our crew, so we got lots of new guys.
Is that you, Timothy?
Yes, it is.
This is my sample. I got the whole
Cool,
screen.
how's it going?
So far, so good.
This is Timon's very first day on a combine. He had to hop on a combine because we're getting behind hauling. This is a long haul back to the farmyard, even at our bushels. Like, it looks nice. Way better than we had last year. Double what we had last year. I think last year my Durum average, I don't know, it was like 8-ish or so. It was really poor. So we're over double. So we're thankful for that. We're definitely not what our expectations was. My expectation was like 35. You know, we were really hoping for 45 before all the heat hit it. And then we're like, okay, we probably lost 10 bushel. Well, we lost a little more than 10 bushel. It's pretty small, shrunk up stuff back there. I'm sending Dave with a sample to an elevator, and we're going to get a bushel weight on it. We get our protein on it. We know it's dry. So hopefully I can get that information here for you as well. I should note, this is my very first field seeded. When I went to seed the wheat, Donovan came down here to seed the Durum. So this was seeded, well, this was the first day of seeding. We just split up. And as you guys know, the earlier the seeding around this camp, the better the crop. So I don't want to say it might be downhill from here because I want to remain positive and optimistic. But I have heard some pretty scary stuff out there from some guys on yields and bushel weight. So we're just not going to go into that until we encounter it. It's really baked in the head, same as that wheat was. We got to run closed right up, tightened right up, and try to get it thrashed out. This is really nice right here. Nice stand anyways. We're thankful for the stand. Gives us some organic matter, something that we don't know what that is anymore after 3 years of 0 crops. At least we're getting some straw. This was top dressed. This was top dressed as well, which means we dribbled down 30 pounds of actual N on it. And we had rain to take it in. Did it pay for itself? Probably not. I bet you we go to a field, the next field hasn't been top dressed, I bet you there's no 0 yield difference. Why would I do it? Well, it would have been better. It would have been better if we would have had that July rain. Sound like a broken record, but every farmer says the same thing. July always makes or break you. Take this pass. So what we're doing here is we're jumping passes. So the wind is coming out of the north, which means the grain cart's down there on the south end, and we're dumping coming north. We're I'm really fussy with dust and grain carts. I'm fussy with everything. I'm fussy with speed. There's ground speeds on the grain carts. There's ground speeds on the combines. There's ground speeds on the combines when they're header picked up and going over to a grain cart. There's ground speed limits everywhere. There's ground speed limits on semis. They're governed. Like, I'm fussy like that. I don't want stuff ran hard, put away wet. So anyways, we're jumping past this. It's Luke and I right now because, of course, we have a combine down. That combine with the gear case pump full of chaff, yeah, it's still down. It's probably going to be down for a few more days yet. And so we're just limping along here. But anyways, he's coming up that pass, and then I'll come up this pass. Grain cart stays down there. We dump going into the wind. Pretty straightforward. So we're just skipping passes all the way across. We do not run a shared line. We just go and grab each other's lines is what we do, which works pretty dang good. You can share lines, but it is a fee. It's like, they told me what the fee was. It's like $20 or $30 some $100 unlock
Thanks, Ed.
per combine, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm not gonna spend that. Oh man. Anyways. Oh, and then there's mapping. You can share mapping as well, which is, I believe, also an unlock. Of course it is. Classic money grab. It's the same with my case 580s. Remember I put that John Deere bridge in? And I was running John Deere guidance on those things? I had to unlock the case tractors so that way I could use third-party guidance. And it was stupid expensive. It was more than $30-some $100. And I'm like, that is bogus. This isn't very good in here. But so Luke's on that combine. Timon is on our loaner combine. We have a loaner down here running a 40-foot, so it does kind of throw us off. So the 40-foot's kind of got to go do his own thing. Try to keep him close while the 45s skip passes. And how we do it is we always do a quarter at a time. So if we go into a half, we cut it in half, and we do the quarter, and then we move up to the next one. That way we're not dragging the carts out too far. Very structured. Sometimes we even have, like, sometimes we actually have a method to our madness. Not very often do we, but sometimes we do. Chap always brings me out a painting a day, so I got these suckers. It looks awesome. Uh-oh. Just gonna have to sit right there. The rest of the family, give you a little update on that, they're still rocking 7 combines. They've had it pretty good. They've had very minimal breakdowns, if any, actually. They're chowing down on lentils still. They're working on red lentils. They're drooling to get on durum because they're already sick of being on lentils. We're all happy combining lentils when we get the check, but actually cutting them is not as fun because you got your cutter bar in the dirt, you're sucking up rocks, dirt, dust, yeah, wearing off skid pads. Which reminds me, these HD drapers, hinge drapers, are burning skid pads off when we were on lentils. That's Luke. Oh, sorry about that. You just can't see through the window. Yeah, anyway, going back to those skid pads, they're burning off skid pads way faster than the old FD drapers, so not happy about that. And I tried different settings. We were actually kept it in rigid mode with our header off the ground, trying to preserve our skid pads because they're expensive. Okay, I'm gonna shut up for a while. Those things clunking and rattling away. Clunkety, clunkety, rattling, rattling, clunkety, clunkety, rattling, rattling, clunkety, clunkety, yeah. I hate them. if we didn't come back to see the slough. I noticed that on there's another big slough down there. I'm like, dang it. Totally wanted to come back to see this thing. I remember making note to come back and see this thing. We're gonna dump as soon as we turn around. Hey Ed, I'll dump as soon as I turn around here.
Okay.
Also, Ed is from the UK. And at the start of harvest, we actually had a Patreon Fam Jam member reach out to me, and he actually passed through the South Farm when we were cutting lentils, and he spent a day cutting lentils. And his name was Jock, and he came with his, I believe it is his wife, Steph. Is that right, Steph? Sorry, Steph. It's not Steph. I apologize. But anyways, yeah, they combined for a day. I was trying to recruit them longer, but they wanted to continue on and see Canada. They started in Vancouver, and they're working their way to Toronto, and then they'll fly out and go combine back home. They are farmers from Australia. I should have remembered exactly where in Australia, because Australia is a very large country. I apologize to all my Aussie friends down there. That's need to know information. Oh, what am I doing here? Pay attention, Mike. So yeah, they're super cool. And thanks for combining, Jock, and you guys are awesome. Please come again. Slow down a little bit here. This is also Ed's first time grain carting. He's never grain carted before. He's picking it up pretty quick. Happy for him. Slow down just a little bit. Sorry that my window's dirty. Classic. We'll just keep maintaining. I'm almost empty here. You're good. I gotta stop. Was worried about that cart backswing because he's trying to get out before this slough that we left. And if you're wondering why we left that, it's because it's got a little bit too much green. We are mixing off green, but we can only mix off so much green.
How are you looking for unloading?
What was that?
Pulling it?
Oh, sorry. What was that?
Pulling you, Timon?
Oh, we get confused. Sorry, I thought he was talking to me. He's talking to Timon. Clunkety, 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 clunkety. Those things just clunk and clunk and clunk and clunk and clunk. They're terrible. I don't know if I've said that before, but All right, guys. That's the update. That's the dealio. I'm going to let you go. I'm going to quit yapping, which is hard for me to do. We all know that. You're wondering why it's so smoky looking? It is because there's forest fire smoke heading our way. Gonna be here for a few days, I'm told. Alright guys, thanks for following me, and hopefully we'll get all the combines up and running here shortly. Adios amigos.